everyone, this is Sunniva.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today in this video we are taking a look at Autobahn. This is a new game from Alley Cat Games and it's designed by Fabio, Lopiano and Nestore Mangone.
It is on Kickstarter from today, April the 19th.
That is correct. And this is a game where you are building the Autobahn, which is the big network of roads in Germany.
It's a highway, actually. It's not like
Not
it
just
is
that's
horse
true.
road with the horse carriage.
It's the
on the Autobahn.
that would be a problem. It's the big highway roads in Germany.
Yes.
And just before we get into it, because we have to say this in the beginning of all of these previews, everything you see in pictures, everything you see are prototype components. We don't know how they will look in finished version, not Finnish version, but in the finished version, so not from Finland, but the one that is complete.
Yes, and we have been provided this from the publisher. We have not made this prototype ourselves.
It is a copy that we got. Yeah,
yes.
That's true. We did not buy the prototype.
That would be horrible.
We had to draw it ourselves.
Yes.
You actually
I actually did
with some
some
of the
drawing,
components,
yes.
but that's neither here nor there, which is a thing I like to say now. Yes, in this game, which is a very interesting game, we're gonna go quickly into what you are gonna do.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to do it as concise as possible, and as always, this is not a rules overview that you can use to actually learn to play the game. Other people make those videos. We don't, because we ramble a lot. So in this game, you are, as I said, going to do quite a bit of different things. You're going to build the roads, or the highways, the Autobahn roads. You are going to upgrade them so they get even better, and you are going to do some pickup and delivery. You're going to try to have some kind of area majority. You will also be building your own kind of scoring. Build your own kind of scoring. It has to be done.
Yes.
And all of those things. And also building your own board with different player powers or special abilities that you upgrade and unlock throughout the game. So the way you do this is kind of quick. It feels like it has this kind of micro turns. It feels like I'm always going to use Concordia as the thing I compare to when you play a card and you do the card. Here it's kind of different, but you have this one where most of your turns, you have a couple of different fringe actions you can take as well. But most of the time you're going to play a card. The card has a color, which then dictates which Autobahn you can interact with for that turn. Or other like different actions have some colors as well, but mostly which kind of Autobahn you can interact with and build, upgrade, and so on. And then you play it out of top of one of 5 different actions that you can choose between. And in the beginning of the game, there's many things you can unlock in this game, because you have this where you will then be able to have a number of these. You can do this action a number of times before you reset and you start playing cards again. And in the beginning those are very few, and then when you go up on this track here, which you do by getting a symbol which makes you go on the track, then you can upgrade one of these so that you now can play 2 cards or even 3 cards or more depending on the action before you have to reset and then go again. So that way you will be building up your own strategy in a way that you choose kind of what you want to focus on. When you build the roads, you're also going to put your little cool meeples with hats. They're going to be here in these different offices that tells you, oh, you're built on the purple road. Good for you. Oh, you are on the black road. Committee now. That's a fine place to be. And what you want to do in this game is that you want to stay here because this will earn you money. Because the game is compared or compromised of, not compromised, but it is 3 different eras. At the end of them, you're going to get scoring depending on how well you did in the different roads. So that's kind of like the area majority-ish. It doesn't feel like area majority, but if I have 2 people here, I will get more money if I only have 1 or 0. So I might see that this road is really well and it's going to the end. I will try to sneak in a little person here. A little person. And then what I also want to do is to upgrade those people in to this place at the top here, because that's where you get your points. There's many things to do in this game, but all of the points come from this board up here. So you want to upgrade your people coming into the lobby, and then you want to move them up on these tracks, which is basically making your own kind of scoring, telling you, oh, now you're going to get 1 point for every different country you delivered something to, because there's pick up and deliver in this game as well. And then you can upgrade to getting 2 points or 3 points, and if you get all of them you can get 6 points for each country, and so on and so forth. But to be able to move on these tracks, you have to then have upgraded specific actions or specific upgrades on your board. So everything in this game kind of comes together. Then when you make the roads, that is more of a cooperative thing. Like, I don't own the road, but I'm trying to build it in a way so that I set it up best way possible for me to get possibilities. But sometimes you have to set something up for somebody else, and yeah, that's kind of what you're going to do. You're going to try to build a network, move your trucks around to deliver things, to get more bonuses, move on these tracks, move up to try to score. And all of this comes together, and hopefully in a good way. Does it come together? Come together right now in a good way for Autobahn.
Yes, I think so, absolutely. What you didn't mention is actually that some of the map is off limits in the beginning of the game, which is really interesting because you have this open space of Germany that you have like lots of opportunities, and then towards the end of the game that is getting tighter and tighter because like almost every road in this game is gonna be built.
Yes.
And then suddenly the East Germany is gonna open up because
Berlin
the wall
is falling down.
And we don't have a lot of walls in this game. But then you can build new roads, and you have like a new commodity that you can deliver in the area that was restricted before, which really also changes the dynamic of the game.
Absolutely. So this feels kind of like there's many things that are working together here.
Yes,
but I feel like it's doing it in a very smooth way. This game puts together very many mechanisms that I really like. So this should be a game I really like, and it is, spoiler alert, but it has so many nice things. It has tracks, which is something I like. I like moving on tracks. It has It has make your own strategy by unlocking different abilities.
That's cool.
Build your own scoring.
Yes.
Which is something that is very, very nice. And then it has this, because all of these is things you do alone. And in many of these kind of games, it's not very interactive. But this is also a pretty interactive game.
Absolutely. And what I think is also like the cool thing is the card play.
Yes.
I really enjoy that because you have these different cards, and you might be like, oh, I want to do a lot of things on the green highway or Autobahn.
Yes.
But I only have one green card, so you play that and you have to either decide to like take a reset action all of the time, which is really inefficient, or you have to do a lot of other stuff. And then you'd be like, oh, but I want to build some more road. But no, I've played all my cards on the road making action already.
Yes.
And those planning what you want to do with your cards, but also having utilize the colors that you don't necessarily build a lot of road in, for example. But then you also can upgrade your cards, which can either like gives you more special abilities on the card, but you can also then like, oh, I don't care about this orange road, let me get another green card. You can do that. That is awesome.
One thing that's important to mention is that this might sound like it's a card where you spend, or you might be lucky to have green cards or have yellow cards. It's not that. You start with the same set of cards, which is like one of each color, and then you can get more cards or upgrade cards as the game go on. That's just like very important because those are two very different kinds of games.
Very important too.
Many of these kind of Euro games, which has many of these mechanisms we have now talked about, does have multiplayer solitaire, but this game has a lot of very nice interaction as well, because everything you do on the map, as I said, you don't own the roads. It's not like I'm building my road here and you build your road in between it. So everything on that is common, and there's many bonus tokens to get, there's many things. So sometimes you kind of have to set up opportunities for other people and hope that they set up opportunities for you, because you cannot build more than X amount of roads each time you do a road action. So you cannot like, oh, I use all my money to build all of that. Also, you have the trucks that you're going to load up with resources and move around, and you can then build these kind of, it's not called a gas station, but it's kind of that's what it is. Kind of gas stations around the board, and when your truck or other trucks move over it, you're going to get bonuses and money when that happens. So you're trying to kind of take advantage of where you think, where are the roads made. You're trying to take advantage of where people are going to move their trucks so that you get the most out of your gas stations. And service station, that's what they call in this game.
Yes.
We know the word of something here on Board Gaming Ramblings. That's the first time ever. Maybe the second.
The thingy.
But yeah, so this game has a great mix, I feel, of the I do my things
Yes.
and the interaction, which all of it makes it a very good game.
Oh, back to the I do my stuff,
Yes.
because that's what I'm into right now. Where your car or truck is standing right when you place a card dictates whether you can move that car or not. And that also makes it very interesting. The order that you play your cards in, maybe you want to do this action with this card, but then you can't move your truck, so maybe you will do something other to get the truck to where you want it to be first. Very, very.
And also you
clever.
wanna that's also kind of not just what you want to, because you want to move your truck before other people move their truck, so you get the best bonus when you move out into the countries and deliver stuff. So this game has a very nice blend of mechanisms. It has a very nice blend of multiplayer, solitaire, and interaction. So there's a lot of interaction in the game. So one thing that we felt with the game is that it's very different. We played 2 and 4 players. We did not get the time to play with 3 players, but we played it quite a few times. And we felt like, because this game for me felt a bit like Terraforming Mars, where however many players you are, you're going to do the same amount of things.
Yeah.
So in Terraforming Mars, you're going to do the 9 waters, you're going to do the temperature, you're going to do the oxygen to the same level, depending if you are 2 players or you are 5 players, which means that if you are 2 players, you will be able to do very much more stuff throughout the game.
Yeah.
And that was how we felt in this game as well.
Absolutely. Both how much you get to do on the road and map and stuff. But also how many resources you had available, and also how many of the scorings that you had available at the end of the game. It depended really much on whether you played a 2 or 4 player game.
Yeah.
It was much harder to get things done in a 4 player game, and also it was harder to have these what do you call it? It was just basically more interaction with 4 players.
Yes.
It was much harder for me to be like, oh, I really wanna build this road here so I can reset and then build another road. It wasn't time for that. Somebody was going to snag that opportunity like that.
And that is really, it's not really a native thing, because it really depends on what you like in the game.
Absolutely.
If you are a person who likes a looser experience, which is not negative, but like a looser experience, and you get to puzzle with your own stuff and do
achieve
more of what you wanted to do, then the 2-player game is better, and the 4-player game is very tight.
Yes.
Because you are gonna do basically 50% of what you did in a 2-player game in that game, and that feels very tight when you play it. The first time you played 4 players, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to do anything in this game, and that is really, for me, I liked it more with 4 players, but it does really depend on how you like it. I think 3 is going to be a very sweet spot for that. You get to do a bit more, but you also get a bit of that tightness from adding that 3rd player. And to say that, if you think like, oh, they should have made it smaller and all of that, then they would have had to make another map, basically. Because this is kind of like Terraforming Mars. You need to do the whole thing for it to make sense.
Yeah.
And they have tightened out like the possibilities to get money, get income is tightened a bit. I don't know if you see it, but there's some 3 and 4 plus players here, which tightens out that a bit. But other than that, it's the same for 2 and 4 players. I agree. I feel like the decision makes sense to do it that way.
Yes.
But it also then ends up making the game experience feel different, so you know it. And that's not really a huge negative. For me, I like it better with more players.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that as long as you know that those 2, for me at least, was 2 different experiences.
Yes.
We played it, the first time we played it with 2. And then we played it with 4 later, and I was just like, oh, this is where it at for me.
Yeah.
This is the game that I want to play every time. And I don't need this to be good at 2 players.
It's
for
still
me,
good at
it's
2
still
players.
good, but I have a lot of other 2 players that I can play if I don't want to play this. But this is a game that for me personally shines with 3 or especially with 4 that we know players.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Very
and
good.
Just like you might see other reviewers saying different things, but for us that was the feeling that we had with the game. But all in all, I think this is a fantastic game. This was one of my highly anticipated games for this year, and it did not let me down. This had like a perfect mix of interaction and mechanisms and things going on, but to not make it too complex, but to make it very interesting and fun. And I cannot wait to play a finished copy of the game.
Yes.
Anything you want to add?
No, I'm good.
That means that this is the end of this video. We hope it makes sense, hope it made you understand if this game might be for you or not. If it is for you, you can go and check out the Kickstarter. We're going to link it in the description. If it's not for you, then you can check out many of the other games on Kickstarter and GameFound, or just in your local friendly game store. And because there's so many games, so something must be for you.
Or you can go to your shelf and play some of the games that you
already own. That is also that is a possibility.
An unpopular opinion.
And that is the end of this video. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, you can do so now. Bye.
Click the subscribe button below. It's fun and it's free and it makes us happy like this. If you want to do something that's not free, you can
go to patreon.com/boardgamingramblings and support us there. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.